بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Moving on to the fifth fasl regarding majmوع. We have here, we finished معرفة النكرة, we finished أسماء العدد, تذكير التعنيث, المثنى. We are now here on the مجموع, the plurals. So it says فصل, الفصل الخامس في المجموع. المجموع اسم دل على آحاد مقصودة بحروف مفرده بتغير ما. A مجموع, a plural, is that noun which denotes intended ahad singulars, members, persons, units. بحروف, what does your book have? My book has بحروف مفردة. Is that what you have in yours? تاء. تاء ساكنة here. تاء مربوطة. Is it مفرده? يا مفردة. تاء مربوطة. Some copies have مفردة تاء مربوطة. That doesn't make sense. So it's حروف مفرده. Some copies have مفردة. حروف مفرده بتغير ما. So a مجموع, a plural, is a noun which denotes units, intended units, by using the حروف, the letters of the mufrad. بتغير ما. ما is a noun, and it means any. We've done this before in نقل الإعراب. ما can be ما اسمي, come in the meaning of ism. It means any. إن الله لا يستحي أن يضرب مثلا ما. So one opinion is that ما here means this one. Any example. بتغير ما. Any change. So basically you have a plural is any word. The singular. Then you go to you change singular words to make it into the plural. And it shows what? Plural. Okay? Understood? For example, we have رجل. What's the plural of رجل? رجال. What's the plural of kitab? كتب. What pattern is this one? فعال. فعال. So we have one plural on the pattern of فعال. What pattern is kitabun on? No, kitab, not this one. Singular. So these two have the same pattern, don't they? So we have a plural, rijal, which is a plural. Kitab is singular. But we have a plural pattern and a singular pattern which are the same. Okay? Asdun, that's a mistake. Asadun, what's the plural of asadun? Usdun. Yes? Quflun, what's the plural of quflun? Aqfal. What's happening here again? You have a plural pattern, which is also used for the singular pattern. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? So these are plurals, not a problem. These are singular, not a problem. What we're saying is, sometimes we can have a plural pattern, which also, that same pattern is also used for the singular. So once in a while, we can get, you have those slot machines. So you can line up, when we do a slot machine, we can end up having a singular pattern, like, we can have a singular pattern, like this, and the plural pattern becomes like this. What will happen then? The singular pattern is like this, and the plural pattern is like this. What's going to happen? Or the singular pattern is like this, and the plural pattern like this. You end up with what? In the singular and the plural. Fi'al is a pattern of maf'ul, yes. That's what we done in مع الأبنية. That kitab is a maf'ul meaning. So this is different. This is to do with gender. We're not discussing the ismiya wasfiya. We're purely looking at number, not gender. Sorry. We're purely looking at number. So kitab and rijal and kutub, looking at it from a number perspective. So the translation issue is to do with the meaning of the wasfiya and ismiya. Here we're looking at simply the plural. Okay? So your question is a different issue altogether. Okay? So what can happen here? Kuflun, singular. Fulkun, singular. Fulkun, plural. How does that happen? Because the singular word comes on which pattern? Kuflun pattern. And the fulkun comes on which pattern? The uslun pattern. So in theory, this has changed. This has changed. This has changed. This has changed. This will also change. Taqdeeran. The pattern has changed. This has changed from the singular pattern of fu'lun, like quflun, to the plural pattern of fu'lun, which is uslun. So what we say is here, it must have some kind of change. You can actually see the change in these, or you can't see the change. You can't see the change. But the change is there because the pattern has changed. From the singular pattern to a plural pattern, even though coincidentally, you have similar patterns for singular and plural. Usually, the same word doesn't have the same singular and plural patterns. But for some reason, the Arabs have used the same singular pattern and the same plural pattern for some words like fulk. So fulk, and if anybody has any question, let me just put a question into that debate right now. Yes? What is sheep? Singular, plural? Exactly. So, in English you also have some words that are same in singular and plural. So sheep is in a pattern of sheep, singular, and sheep is in a pattern of sheep for plural. Same thing, taqdeeran. There's a taqdeer change. So similarly here, you have fulk. Correct? So singular and plural become the same. But obviously they explain a bit more detail in Arabic to fit the rule. بتغير ما. So when you say تغير ما, إما لفظي, either the change is in the text, you can see it. كرجال في رجل. So the plural of رجل becomes رجال. We can actually see the change. وإما تقديري كفلك. So fulk is singular and plural. And the change within fulk is تقديري. Why? على وزن أسد. Okay, so we say fulk, the plural is on a pattern of usdun. So asadun, plural is usdun. فإن مفرده أيضا فلك. But different pattern. لكنه على وزن قفل. So it's changed patterns, but it just so happened that the singular pattern and the plural pattern matched. This is a way of explaining and making the rule fit. Because if you didn't say تغير تقديري, then this one word would not. If you say a plural is that word which shows plural meaning with a change from the singular, we say okay, that applies to every single word except fulk. So you have to say, well, the تغير and the change is تقديري. This will make the rule fit basically. Got it? Understood? Okay. قوم. What's the plural of قوم? أقوام. What does قوم mean? People, nation. How many people does that refer to? You can't have a qawm of one person, can you? Arahtun, group. Plural is arhat or arhut. What's the singular of qawm? So the singular is qawm, and the plural of qawm is aqwam. This is the singular. This is the plural. Okay, it's a singular, and that is a plural. Okay. So when a singular word depicts in itself more than one member, then you call that what in English? Collective nouns. So in Arabic you call that ismul jam'i. These are known as what? ismul jam. So technically speaking, they're not plurals. They're not jama', they're ismul jama'. i.e. they're not plurals, they're collective nouns. So they themselves are singulars, qawman rahtun, but they depict a plural meaning. Okay, so technically it doesn't fit by definition, they're not plurals. By meaning they are. فَقَوْمٌ وَرَهْتٌ وَنَحْوُهُ وَنَحْوُهُمَا. Qawm and raht example, even though they depict many units. So qawmun shows many people. Rahtun shows what? Many men, many groups of people. But it's not plural because وَلَكِنَّهُ لَيْسَ بِجَمْعٍ. It is not grammatically considered to be a plural إِذْ لَا مُفْرَدَ لَهُ, since it does not have any singular. Qawm doesn't have a singular before qawm. Qawm itself is singular, and the plural of qawm is aqwam, and it means many people. Got it? Understood? Yes. In the verse tis'atu rahtin, it means a group of 10. So the word raht can be used as a group, and in tis'atu rahtin it means a group of 9. So when you say rahtun, itself can mean a group, and when you have tis'atu rahtin, it doesn't mean 9 groups, it means a group of 9. Okay? Yes? Okay, the jama', the plural. Now we know what plural is, and we can break it down, and we've done this in basic Arabic many times. A jama' sahih, mudhakkar, mu'annath, or jama' mukassar. I'm not going to explain this, it's very basic. Now, so what we're doing here, we're dividing the jama' into 2 types based on the sigha, how it's formed. ثُمَّ الْجَمْءُ عَلَى قِسْمَيْنِ. Thereafter, after we've understood jama', we need to have a look and say, well, jama' has 2 types based on its sigha. Musahha, we say jama' tashih or jama' sahih. Musahha is the opposite of mukassar. وَهُوَ مَا لَمْ يَتَغَيَّرْ بِنَاءُ وَاحِدِهِ. So jama' tashih, jama' musahha is that jama' whose singular form has not been changed, it remains intact. وَمُكَسَّرٌ وَهُوَ مَا يَتَغَيَّرُ فِيهِ بِنَاءُ وَاحِدِهِ. It is that plural whose singular form has changed. Okay? وَالْمُصَحَّةِ عَلَى قِسْمَيْنِ. The jama' tashih, the jama' tashih is of 2 types. مذكر وهو ما ألحق بآخره واو مضموم ما قبلها ونون مفتوحة كمسلمون. A مذكر is that word ألحق بآخره, to whose ending a waw مضموم ما قبلها is the fa'il of the madmum. A waw before which the one before it is madmum. So a waw which is preceded by a dhamma, but literally translates as a waw which is madmum what is before it. So meaning it has a dhamma before it. So a mudhakkar, musahhah mudhakkar is that plural which has what? A waw madmum attached to it, and also a nun maftuha. So for example here, this is jama' musahhah mudhakkar. Why? Muslimun is a waw added to the end. What's haraka before it? The dhamma. And what do you have after it? A nun maftuha. Correct? These are all basic stuff. أو ياء مكسور. So ألحق بآخره, either this, you either add ألحق بآخره this, or ألحق بآخره ياء مكسور. Sorry, ياء مكسور ما قبلها. Ya, before which is a kasra. وَنُونٌ كَذَلِكَ, and a nun maftuha. Okay, leave that for now. Leave this part in gray for now. Nahu, muslimin. So what do we have here? We have a ya, maksurun ma qablahu. The word before it is a kasra. And nun kadhalik, a nun maftuha. Okay. Why is this ya and waw added in? لِيَدُلَّ, to show that anna ma'ahu, that along with it, they are more from that same type. Akthara minhu, more than it. So when you say muslimuna, muslimun, we add waw noon, or ya noon, if it's mansoob or majroor. And what does that depict? That depicts that along with this one Muslim, from this same type, there are many others. That along with this, ma'anna ma'ahu, along with this, there are akthara minhu, more from the same type. Yes. وَهَذَا فِي الصَّحِيحِ is in the sahih, not in the maqsoor or manqoos. When it's maqsoor or manqoos, slightly different rules. So qadin. What's the plural of qadin? What should the plural of qadin be without any ta'leel, any changes? Qadin, qadiyani, qadiyuna. It should be what? Qadiyuna. Okay? And what happens here? You study in Sarf in more detail. You've already studied already. So qadiyuna, this ya goes to something called naqal. I should ask you the question, so give me an answer. So when you naqal, the dhamma goes onto this drops off, and that becomes sakin. Becomes qaduna. So you drop the ya, becomes qaduna. You get it? So qadiyuna, you naqal, you move the haraka across. Here you have two sakins together. What do we do here? What's the word for this? Come on. We do hadaf. What do you do when you have here? You have two sakins together. You have iltiqa sakinain. So you do hadaf of the ya. So you naqal and hadaf. You make the dhamma go onto the dad. There's a rule for that. We've studied that already. Or basically, primarily you study basics. And now you drop the ijtima sakinain. You drop the ya. Becomes qaduna. That's a maqsoor. And a mustafa. Mustafa, Mustafayani, Mustafa Yuna. It should be Mustafa Yuna. What do we do here? Tasriful easy exam. On the spot. Mustafa Yuna. Not yeah, you make it into what? تحركه وانفتاح ما قبلها. Qalb. When the ya or waw is mutaharrik, وانفتاح ما قبلها, and the word before it is what? مفتوح. You do qalb. So mustafawna. And then what do we have? Ijtima'u sakinain. What do we do then? Hazaf. So then it becomes mustaf. And it becomes what? Mustafuna. Mustafawna. Becomes mustafawna. So you do qalb and hazaf. And the top one you naqal and hadaf. That's what we have here. Amma al-manqus. So manqus the first one. فَتُحْذَفُ يَاؤُهُ. You do hadaf of the ya, but after the naqal of the haraka. So it becomes qadin, it becomes qaduna. And da'in becomes da'una. So da'iyuna becomes da'una. وَالْمَقْصُورُ يُحْذَفُ أَلِفُهُ. Its alif is removed. وَيَبْقَى مَا قَبْلَهَا مفتوحا, and the word letter before it remains مفتوح. ليدل على ألف محذوفة, to imply or to show the alif is محذوف. مثل مستفون. And مستفون, what do we have here? قلب. مستفيون becomes قلب and حذف. So مستفون. You following? Yes? Okay. ويختص بأولي العلم. That the jama' mudhakkar salim can only be used for ulil ilm, meaning intelligent beings, rational beings. You can't use this plural, generally speaking, there are few exemptions, for animals or inanimate objects. You only have this for whether it's a name or whether it's a sifa. This plural of owner is only used for rational beings. So, for example, muslimuna, alimuna, qa'imuna, jalisuna. So whether it's a noun or an adjective, you can only use it for rational beings. So non-rational being, you have to use the mukassar or the mu'annas sigha. Do you understand? Then obviously there are few exemptions. وَأَمَّا قَوْلُهُمْ sinuna. So sinuna is a plural of sanatun. So sana is year. خِلَافٌ لِلْقِيَاسِ الشَّاذ. وَأَرْضُونَ, plural of earth, ardun. So arduna. Thubuna, some say it's to do with jama'ah, and some say to a group of people. and some say it's with a group of horsemen only. So thubuna, thubatun, thubuna. Okay. And quluna is qulatun. So it's a small piece of wood which is thick in the middle and skinny at the ends. Something like this. What women usually use to hit their husbands with, and sometimes they make rotis with it. This is called qula, but it's not really a rolling pin, it's a toy. So kids play with it. So something like this. So it has a shape like this. Yes? That's what we call a qula. So some kind of toyish, like that. I can't find an English word for it. And the plural is what? Quluna. Bilwawi wa nooni. So this comes with waw and noon. Wuna. Even though they don't have the same rules. For example, some of them, like for example, this is non-aqil, this is non-aqil. Thubuna and izuna, they are, if it's for a group of men, the problem is it doesn't remain salim. It should be, why the ta dropped off? So these are, follow the pattern of musahha mudhakkar, but they're not what? They're not used on the same pattern, the same rule. So they have exemptions. So they fit under the rule, like the changes. Muslimuna, qa'imuna, jalisuna. But they're not always fit the definitions that I have mentioned previously. Okay? Understood? Yes? Okay. Now, what he's mentioned, everybody, okay? Shall I go ahead? Yeah? Okay. Now, he's saying here that the when you want to make, so the rule is you can only make the jama' mudhakkar salim from words that have a ulul ilm. But every ulul ilm can't be made into a plural of una. So for example, you can't say rajuluna. It's ulul ilm. You can't say rajuluna. So what is a pattern in a sifat, etc.? What's the pattern? So he says here, wajib wa yajibu alla yakuna. That it shouldn't be these things. Now if you look at it here, there's two conditions. So for an adjective to come on the pattern, or even a noun, to come on the pattern of una, to have an una plural, there are two conditions. The first condition, it should not have a ta. Correct? So the singular word should not have a ta. So for example, allamatun. What's allamatun have? A ta. So even though it's a male and it's ulul ilm, because it has a ta, this word can't have what? A una plural. And thubatun is khilafun al-qiyas, is shadh. So thubatun, that's against the rules. But generally speaking, you can't have that. The second condition is, it shouldn't have ta, but it should be able to take a ta. It should be able to take a ta. For example, ahmar. Can ahmar take a ta? What's the mu'annas form of ahmar? Hamra. It's not made mu'annath by adding a ta. So ahmar becomes hamra. Similarly, what do we have? Sakran. So the fa'alan is made mu'annas by sakra. It's not made mu'annath by sakranatun. So these don't have a ta, fine. But they can't take a ta. So it must not have a ta, but yet be able to accept a ta to make it feminine. Jarih is a fa'ilun in a maf'ul meaning. Majruh. The mudhakkar and mu'annath are the same. We say rajulun jarihun and imra'atun jarihun. It doesn't have a ta, but you don't have jarihatun. Similarly, saburun, fa'ulun, in a fa'il meaning. It can't take it. It doesn't have a ta, but it doesn't take a ta. The feminine form is also sabur. So then this can't, none of these can have the una plural. You can't say ahmarun or sakranun or jarihun or saburun. Why? Because the first condition is met. They're khali and ta, but they're not salihatun lidukhuliha. They do not allow the ta to enter. So therefore you can't use the una plural on this. Yes. Or if it doesn't have a ta, it can't take a ta, but as long as it shows tafdeel. So for example, afdalu. What's akbaru? The plural akbaru, kubra. Not akbaratun or afdalatun. But because the tafdeel meaning is there, that's exempt from this condition. Do you understand? So there are two conditions. Condition number one is it shouldn't have a ta. And either this or this. Either it can accept a ta, and none of these can accept a ta. So none of these will be able to be on the una pattern. If it doesn't accept a ta, but it has a tafdeel meaning, that's also allowed to have a una plural. So the ism tafdeel. None of them have a ta marbuta on the feminine form. It's fu'la. Akbar kubra, not akbaratun. But because it has a tafdeel meaning, the waw nun is added in the plural. And that's what he's discussing and in the rules. Understood? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. So yesterday we were discussing the Jam' Mudhakkar Salim. So one thing we mentioned was that the Jam' Mudhakkar Salim can only be used for yakhtassu bi ulil ilm. So those rational beings, human beings, which are male, it can only be used for those. But also along with this, the condition is mentioning here that not every single male rational can have this plural. So for example, we know for sure we can't say, for example, sama'una, because sama'una is not a rational human being. But it doesn't mean that, for example, we have a masculine, an adjective or a noun referring to a masculine human being, that it can automatically come on una. So there are a few conditions. And the two conditions are, number one, the masculine word itself must not have a ta. So allama cannot become allamatun, allamun, because there's a ta. The second condition is either or. So it can't have a ta, that's fixed. And along with that, either this or either this. Option number one, it doesn't have a ta, but it has the ability to accept a ta, i.e. its mu'annas form comes with a ta marbuta. Or number two, its mu'annas form doesn't come with ta, but it shows tafdeel meaning. So for example, ahmar, the mu'annas of ahmar is not ahmaratun, it's hamra. Therefore you can't say ahmarun, you have to say humrun. Sakran, the mu'annas is not sakranatun, the mu'annas is sakra. Therefore you can't say sakranun, you have to say sukara. Jarihun is in the meaning of maf'ul, and the rule in sarf you prayed yastawi fi al-mudhakkar wal mu'annath. The mudhakkar and mu'annath forms are both the same, whether it's a male or female. Once they're wounded male or female, you will say jarih. Rajulun jarihun, imra'atun jarihun. You wouldn't say jarihatun, because jarihatun can't have a ta. The mu'annath form doesn't have a ta. You can't say jarihuna, you say jarha. Similarly, qatilun, you won't say qatiluna, you say qatla. Saburun is a sifat mushabbatun bismi al-fa'il. The mu'annath is not saburatun. The sabur is just tawi fihi mudhakkaru wal mu'annath. The mudhakkar and mu'annath form are both the same. So what do we say here? You can't say saburuna. It's not the plural for it. However, afdal is plural is fudla. But what meaning does it depict? It depicts a tafdeel meaning. Therefore, you can have the afdaluna pattern. Okay? So that's what he's explaining here. وَيَجِبُ أَلَّا يَكُونَ أَفْعَلْ مُؤَنَّثُهُ فَعْلًا. It is necessary that the word you wish to make Jam' Mudhakkar Salim, it is not af'al, this is man'ud, whose mu'annas is fa'ala. Like ahmar and hamra. So ahmar is masculine, hamra is feminine. You can't say ahmaruna, and I explain why. Similarly, it can't be fa'alan, whose mu'annas is fa'ala. Like sakran and sakra, because sakran is not sakranatun, you can't have that. Wala fa'ilan, it can't be fa'il in the meaning of maf'ul, like jarih bima'na majruh. Why? Because it doesn't have a ta, but it's not qabilun li qabul ta. It can't have jarihatun, therefore you can't have jarihuna. Similarly, fa'ulan, the condition is necessary that it is not fa'ul in the meaning of fa'il, like sabur in the meaning of sabir. Why? Because sabur, it can't take a ta'al marbuta. Therefore you can't have saburatun. You can't have saburatun, therefore you can't have saburuna. Muslimun, it doesn't have a ta, it can't take a ta, therefore you can say muslimuna. Ila ghayrihi, mu'minuna, etc., etc. Understood? So the summary is, it shouldn't have a ta, but it should be able to have a ta. Unless it's ism tafdhil, where you allow that exemption. Fahim? Okay. Next rule, very easy, baby rule. وَيَجِبُ حَذْفُ نُونِهِ بِالْإِضَافَةِ نَحْوُ مُسْلِمُ مِصْرٍ. The noon of the Jama' Mudhakkar Salim is dropped off at the time of Idafa, like Muslimu Misr. Now he's going on to the second type. So you have Jama' Salim, or Musahha, and Mukassar. Musahha is either Mudhakkar or Mu'annas. Now the Mu'annas form. Okay. وَهُوَ مَا أُلْحِقَ بِآخِرِهِ أَلِيفٌ وَتَاءٌ. Al-Jam' Mu'annath is that word in whose ending an alif and a ta has been attached. Like Muslimatun. Yes, that's baby stuff. Now he says here, you have Mu'annas Sifat and Mu'annas names. When you have Mu'annas Sifa, one possibility is it has a Mudhakkar. Like Muslimun. But so Muslimatun has Muslimuna. Correct? So that's one type of Mu'annas word. So one type of Mu'annas word is, it can be an adjective. And the adjective can either have a Mudhakkar, or it doesn't have a Mudhakkar, like Ha'idha. So there's no male of Ha'idha. Yes? So you have Muslimun. So Muslimun is the male form of Muslimatun or Muslimatun. Ha'idhatun, it doesn't have a male form. There's no male that has haid, that menstruates. Then it's non-sifa. A mu'annath is not a sifa. For example, Hindat, Sayyara. This is a noun. Sayyara is a car. Hind is a person. So this is nouns or adjectives. And adjectives are either specific for women, or it's a shared adjective. Standing, sitting, pious, truthful, honest, dishonest. All of these are shared qualities between men. The only thing that's not shared is being correct. Only women are correct, men are always wrong. But apart from that, all the other qualities can be shared. Okay? Yes? وَشَرْطُهُ إِنْ كَانَ صِفَةً. If you go back again here, صِفَةً. So if you have a sifa, so not a noun, this is noun here. It is a sifa. Then we have to look. وَلَهُ مُذَكَّرٌ. Okay? وَشَرْطُهُ is this is a khabar. وَشَرْطُهُ أَنْ يَكُونَ مُذَكَّرُهُ قَدْ جُمِئَ بِالْوَاوِ وَالنُّونِ. What's the condition? If this mu'annas is an adjective, then then you have to look at the mudhakkar. Does the mudhakkar have a waw noon or not? If it does, then you can have atun. So for example, Muslimuna. So being a Muslim is an adjective. Yes? So Muslimuna, believing, submitting. So now we have the word Muslimatun. Does this have an equivalent mudhakkar? It does. It has an equivalent mudhakkar. Yes? Is this mudhakkar with a waw noon? Yes. Therefore, we can have what? Muslimatun. So you have to look. It's an adjective. Does this adjective have a masculine? If it does, then you have to look. Does that masculine have a waw noon? If you have waw noon, automatically you can have a atun. Do you understand? And someone might say, well, is a Muslimuna a noun, a person? It can be used as a noun, but primarily it's ismul fa'il, which shows an adjective meaning. Thereafter has been used and adopted to refer to Muslim men or Muslim women. But primarily it's an adjective. Then it has become, you have this called, you have then in Nahw level 2, you have what? I forgot the names. Adjectives which become nouns. Like Salihat. So Salihat is an adjective, but it's now become a noun. Pious deeds. Okay, so the first situation or first condition is that if it is an adjective and it has a mudhakkar form, then you have to look at the mudhakkar form. If the mudhakkar can take waw noon, then you can have atun. Otherwise you can't. If it doesn't have a mudhakkar, then you can only have the atun. The condition is what? Allah yakuna mu'annathan mujarradan an itta. Okay? If it doesn't have a ta, then you can't have the atun. Okay? So its condition is that its mu'annas should be free from a ta. So for example, ha'if. Does it have a ta? No. So you have two words, and we've done this already. You have ha'if and ha'idha. Okay? So ha'if is a woman who has reached the age of menstruation. She may not be actually in a state of menstruation at that time, but she does have her periods over the month. So she may be pure at that time, but she has the ability to. She's reached the age of puberty and before menopause. And ha'idha is a lady who's actually in the period of menstruation. So this is a mu'annath. What does it have? Ta marbuta. So this can have what? Ha'idhatun. This can't be ha'idhatun because it doesn't have a ta. So if it doesn't have a ta, this can't be ha'idhat. So ha'idhat is the plural of ha'idha, not the plural of ha'idh. So if you say these are ha'idhat, these are women who are actually menstruating. And hawa'idh is what? Women who have reached the age and the maturity of that age. So hawa'idh. So if you have a sifa makhsus bin nisa, then the atun plural is only used if it's a ta marbuta. If it's not a ta marbuta, then you wouldn't have. If it's not a ta marbuta, then you wouldn't have the atun plural. Does that make sense? You following? And if it's not an adjective, it's just a noun, then there's no conditions. You just make it plural. Sayyara, sayyarat, hind, hindat. And it is very flexible. There's only conditions in the adjective form. So if you go back up again here. So any mu'annas word, if it's a noun, you can make it into feminine plural straight off, no problem. Hindun, hindatun, sayyara, sayyaratun, kurrasa, kurrasatun. Done. If it's an adjective and it has a male counterpart, if they can have waw noon, why can't we have atun? Nobody's going to argue with that. And then you can only have atun if it has a ta. So ha'idhat becomes ha'idhat. If there's a ta, then you have ha'idhat. If no ta, you can't have ha'idhat. Make sense? Yes? Everybody got that? Okay. The mukassar. What's the rule of mukassar? صيغته في الثلاثي كثيرة. How many? He said about 27. About 27 plus. Okay, so the jam' al-mukassar, their patterns are many. Okay, تعرف بالسماع. How do we know them? By sama. We heard usage, Arabic usage, we just learned them. Rijal, karijal, afras, fulus. So fi'al, af'al, fu'ul. He given 3 examples here. Rijal, plural of rajul, man. Afras, plural of faras, horse. Fulus, plural of fulsun, money, or kind of coin. Was there a question there? No, okay. وفي غير ثلاثي. So if it's a 3-letter word, then you have to learn them. If it's not thulathi, it's more than thulathi, then the plural become on fa'alil or fa'alil qiyasan. Kama arafta fi tasrif. As you should have learned in sarf. We haven't learned it, but that's a rule. So for example, if you have Ja'far, what would the plural be? Al-Ja'afir. Okay. Safarjal, the type of fruit. Safarjal, the plural be what? Safa. You drop the extra lam again. Safarij, fa'alil. And that's how it works. Okay? Yes? Masjid becomes masajid. Miftah, mafatih. So the 3-letter words, then you have to learn it by heart. If it's more than 3, then there's a qiyas, fa'alil or fa'alil. Okay? Got it? Okay. Now, in terms of the meaning of that plural, so one is a wazn. Is it salim? Is it sound? Is it musahha? Or is it mukassar? We discussed those before. Now we're looking at the plural from this aspect. Is what meaning does it depict? Is it? So what happens here? The Arabs have 2 patterns. Qilla and kathra. This rule is a bit loose. It's not like a hard and fast rule like the marfu, mansub, etc. It's loose. It is used, but it is flexible. What happens? The Arabs, they say, well, you have mufrad, wahid is one, muthanna is two. If a word has more than two plurals, two or more plurals, so if you've got one plural, then this is irrelevant. But if it has more than one plural, then usually what will happen, you'll have one plural representing 3 to 10 and one representing 10 plus. This is only when there's two plurals or more. For example, rajul plural is rijal. So then, rajul only got one plural, rijal. The arjul is to do with feet, that's not to do with men. So then, rijal, you wouldn't have to analyze, is it to do with qilla or kathra? Less, a smaller plural or higher plural. It's just one plural across the board. It wouldn't refer to any numbers. But if, for example, you have bahrun. What's the plural of bahrun? You have bihar and you have abhur. Now we're talking business. So one is qilla, one is kathra. So 3 to 10, 10 plus. And it's not hard and fast, it is flexible. So for example, jam'ul qilla, these are the patterns. One is af'ul, like abhur. Af'al, af'ila, fi'la, and regarding this is ikhtilaf. There's different opinion among scholars. But they say that jam'u salim, it also shows a smaller meaning. It is only when you have both possibilities. So for example, it'll come up in the other book, in Ma'ani Abniya. But for example, sumbula. What the plural of sumbula in the Quran? Sanabil and sumbulat. Sumbulat. So now the word sumbula is used salim and mukassar. Now we're talking business. Now we can say, well, why is it the mukassar will have a higher, more meaning, kathra, and the salim will be qilla. But when there's only one plural, like muslimun, there's only one plural for muslimun. So then the qilla kathra concept does not apply. But if they have both, you have a kathra, you have a mukassar plural and a salim plural, then a salim would be qilla, and qilla is, yes, 3 to 10, but also be relative, less than the mukassar. We'll discuss that later on, inshallah, in Ma'ani Abniya. But jam'u salim, this ikhtilaf. So some say if they are both salim and mukassar plurals for one single noun, then what will happen? We will say the salim shows a smaller meaning, not smaller, a lesser meaning in terms of number, and a mukassar will show a higher meaning. And everything apart from these 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5, depending on the ikhtilaf, will show kathra. Do you understand that? And this is coming up tomorrow in the Ma'ali Abniya. Those who don't attend the class, they can watch that video if they want to. Okay? So now we're looking at the types. G. Correct. Yes. The question regarding khati'a and khati'at, that does apply. And we discuss that in detail in Ma'ali Abniya, inshallah. There's a whole section coming up regarding that. Why one place khati'a comes, one place khati'at comes. So that will apply there as well. Khati'at is salim, so is qilla, and khataya is kathra. Okay? So ثم الجمع أيضا على قسمين. Jam'a is also in two types, according to dalala, what it implies and denotes. The first is jam'u qilla. A qilla jama' is a diminutive but a smaller jama', which shows a lesser plural. وهو ما يطلق على العشرة فما دونها. It is that which is used. يطلق, it is released upon. It is allowed to go on. It is used for 10 فما دونها, and that which is less than 10. So anything which is 10 or less than 10, the jam'u qilla can apply to that. So jam'u qilla, وهو, it is that which is applied or used for 10, fa, and then thereafter what is less than 10. وأبنيته, its patterns are أفعل, أفعال, أفعلة, and فعلة, and جمع التصحيح بدون اللام. If there's a jam'u sahih without a lam, and again there's ikhtilaf regarding whether the lam will play a difference or not, etc. etc. But he's saying here, his opinion in Hidayatun Nahw, that the jam'u sahih and jam'a is muthanna. The two jam'a which are sahih, mudhakkar and muannas, without ilam, like zaydun and muslimat. Zaydun doesn't have alif lam, so it's qilla. Muslimat doesn't have alif lam, so it's qilla. And it's fihi khilaf. But this is what he's mentioned here. Because what would say, well, if you have alif lam, it refers to like a jins and a larger meaning. But I mentioned to you, it's difference of opinion regarding that. Okay. وجمع كثرة. The second type is جمع كثرة وهو ما يطلق على فوق العشرة. It is that which is used for more than 10. وأبنيته. Abniya is the plural of bina. Bina means pattern, sigha. And it's bina, abniya, or what are those which are more than, which are apart from these. Ada is the harful istisna, which came before. Ma ada, hadhihi al-abniya, ta, not abniyati. Ma hadhihi al-abniya, which is apart from, different from these sigha. So apart from af'ul, af'al, af'ila, fi'la, any pattern apart from this will depict kathra meaning. Okay. Any questions? Have you understood? You understood? Yeah. Go ahead. So the opinion of Hidayatun Nahw Musannif is that Jama'a as-Sahih, the two Jama' of Sahih, Mudhakkar and Mu'annath, these two only depict a qilla meaning without alif lam. If you add alif lam to it, so muslimat, it becomes muslimat, that will give a meaning of qilla. If you have alif lam on it, then it doesn't necessarily give the meaning of qilla. But I said this doesn't really fit in. I don't agree with this because this will only apply. All scholars don't agree with this. There's an ikhlaf regarding this, and what the more general consensus or more general thing is that you could only depict kasra and qilla if that word also has a mukassar. Then you were able to use two of them. He's gone to the opinion that if it doesn't have alif lam, then it refers to qilla, and if it has alif lam, it can refer to kathra. So if you say, for example, ja'a muslimat, it could potentially, it doesn't have to, it could potentially refer to a few Muslims. But again, this is very ambiguous. What if I want to say, now I said, وَجَلَسَتْ جَاءَتْ مُسْلِمَاتٌ. Now I said those Muslim women who are few, they sat. I can't say alif lam on this word. If I say jalasat muslimat, automatically it becomes kathra. It doesn't really make sense. So this qaid here itself, fihi khilaf. But the better way of understanding it is, if you have a kathra and a qilla, you have both the jama' salim and the ma' mukassar, then in that case the jam'ul salim would show a qilla meaning. Potentially. It's not all across the board. It's generally speaking, it's a possibility, but it's very loose, the kathra and qilla. You go ahead with the question. That's not relevant. I don't think that's relevant here. But let's say, for example, you want to discuss that same Jamal Qilla as a mubtada. How would you do that? You can't add alif lam? You see the issue? So then it wouldn't work grammatically. So the alif lam extra condition is a bit hard to use it. So theory is fine, but then applying it. So let's say, so you give the example of in al-Muslimin, just kathra there, that's fine. But what if you want to say a few Muslim women, I'll give a khabar regarding them. So al-Muslimat would automatically imply kathra. So that's why this is khilaf in this. That and then especially this last condition. But we can discuss that inshallah in the Jamul Qilla and Kathra discussion in Ma'an al-Af'al inshallah. Okay? Subhanallah bihamdi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.